All right. Now this is not a interview. This is a conversation between two people. I ask the questions, you give the answer. Unless you want to turn it around, you give the answer and I'll ask the question.
I think we just do what we naturally do.
Well,
But I do respect what you just said.
Okay.
But I won't follow it. But I did respect it.
Okay.
Dude,
The
you're
answer
gonna make
is
you're gonna make it 3 minutes into the show, and it's gonna
Mark White.
It's no longer
it's
called
been-
the
it's been
Andy.
good to talk
Question
to
is,
you.
who's dead?
Thank you, folks.
Shortest podcast in history.
All right. So have we started?
We're ready. Now we haven't started, but we're going to. We're ready, Kenny? Anytime?
Anytime.
Thank you.
This is the intro. This is our town. This is Andy Ockershausen. And a special guest and a special man. And if you don't believe me by the time this podcast is over, you will believe me. Welcome to our town. I don't know, is it Mark White, Bubba White, or Jerry White, whatever it is.
Mark
Welcome.
C. Bubble White. That
Is
covers
Bubba the
everything.
real part? Like
That
George
was
Bush.
you never asked me where I got that nickname, did you?
I don't care, Bubba.
That's
No.
high
when I
school.
first-
That's a high school football. First of all, I'm from here. Okay, I am from D.C. So
What is
I
your
got
high
all
school?
upset when the gentrification started, and I don't have $1 million condos. You know.
Would you
I'm
tell
sorry, I
me
went off the rails there. Didn't
What
I?
is your high school?
Northwood High School,
That's not in this area. is it?
Silver
I've never heard
Spring,
of it.
Silver Spring,
Oh my God!
right
See,
down the road from beautiful Wheaton, Maryland.
But I thought Silver Spring was Montgomery Blair
It's a
High
big.
School.
It is. Blair was our competitor. So a lot of
Didn't have
people
any
here.
com-
A
that
lot of
competitor
people.
was BCC.
We hated BCC was just go by, guys are smoking dope on the side of the road. You'd spit at them, and we'd keep driving because our school was rednecks. Our guys all had fast cars. There was the fast car gang, the greaser gang, and I was in with the sports people and the drunks. So the sports people and the drunks were one group.
Well, that was a perfect background for you to get into television. But you matriculated, whatever that means. You graduated
Right.
from the University of Maryland.
Right, because it was on the same street that I went to high school. So all I had to do is instead of going left was go right, and I ended up in Maryland.
College Park.
Yeah.
Bubba, I
University
didn't know that.
Boulevard. Now,
I
the
really didn't know.
the University of Maryland at that time had one of the top 10 radio TV, curriculum.
Dr. Batka.
And I can use
Does
this
that
one.
name mean anything?
No.
Well, WMAL was very involved with the university. Dr. Batka was the head of that school when I was at WMAL.
Do you remember Mike Dumonceau or Bob McCleary? They basically started the Discovery Channel. And they don't get any credit for it.
No,
But those
they-
two
well,
guys, I was in Maryland when they were putting that
No,
together.
there was one other guy that's now a billionaire that started Discovery too. I'll think of his name. He was in the same building
I know.
when we were at Channel 50. No,
Okay.
Comcast Sportsnet. Before they moved to Silver Spring, I'll think of his name.
Okay.
Well, Bubba, so you got an early introduction to fun and games at the University of Maryland.
Right, and our school, one of my colleagues, his name is Glenn Weiss, and he's done the Academy Awards, the Tony Awards, Emmy Awards, and you know what he sent me? A crusty bagel. I said, dude, can you throw me a bone?
Bubba,
I saw him down at the Kennedy Center. He took a paper airplane, threw it off the balcony, hit me in the head, and looked at me.
was he a director? Or
He's a
producer?
director. He's talented. We worked at Channel 5.
He called shots.
Yeah, but he worked he was younger than me at Channel 5.
Did he graduate from Maryland?
Yeah,
also?
the same. And that's what I'm saying. This guy, Dr. McCleary, at Maryland, was the greatest directorial teacher, and
He taught a lot of
a lot of people.
Ernie Bauer.
Ernie would know who he is. I don't know if he got taught by him. Ernie taught me a lot.
Oh,
You know what
Ernie.
Ernie taught me? Every time I'd get in trouble, he'd go, "Why don't you just say, hey, I don't like that idea, but I'll do it anyway." Where I would come in with a chair and smash something and go, "This is the stupidest." Listen to this. The program director one year goes, "We don't have the budget for a lot of lights for the Black History Month play that has 12 sets."
What is
right?
it, Channel 5?
Channel 5. I didn't say her name. So she looks at the lighting director, who's like an Emmy awarding lighting director, and she goes, "Well, why don't you just turn all the lights on?" And he looked at her, and she goes, "Yeah, just turn them all on, and you will save in the setup." And he looks at me with that look like, "Can you say anything or I'll kill her?" And I started laughing, but that's how some people saw television. And especially 30 years ago. 30 years ago was the time to be in TV. I mean,
Well,
the
that's
mid 80s.
live, local live.
The mid 80s to the late 90s. And
Well, Bubba, you
I've
worked
done
so many
everything.
places. To see
name me
your career.
somebody, and I'll tell you if I have either worked with them or had sex with them. Wait. Andy?
Bubba, No, I know a lot of people. Have
I
turned
did
you
not
down.
have sex with Garrett Utley or Tim Russert, but I did work with both of them.
How about what did
Al
you do?
Roker, Al Roker.
What did you do for the Al Roker? Remember,
Yeah.
he used to be Channel 5.
He tried to be funny. I mean, me and him would have to go. Listen to this. Have you ever heard the term belly bomber?
No.
That's where you find some unsuspecting person in between two other moving fat guys, and you just yell belly bomb and you smash them in between. So me and Al Roker were doing that at 5 in the morning at NBC on Sunday because we were doing the Sunday Today Show and Meet the Press. That was part of my deal. And that's
Channel 4?
No, yeah, but NBC, the
Right.
NBC side. And that's at 5 in the morning on Sunday morning. So we got bored. So Al and I were just terrorized. I mean, this is 30, we were just crazy. So the word gets out to some of the staff that we haven't belly bombed them, and they were getting upset. So apparently it gets to us, the executive producer, Betty, was all upset that we hadn't.
Betty Endicott?
No, Betty.
Remember her, Betty Endicott?
Yeah.
She was your boss at Channel
At
5.
one point, yes.
Well, whatever happened to Al Roker?
He's on NBC. Oh, you're funny.
Well,
so she
Wait a
goes.
minute. No, the Al Roker that you worked with was the
Oh, yeah.
fat guy.
Well-
Al Roker now looks like he weighs 150 pounds.
That's all right. He gave up 80% of his personality. Get out of here, Andy. So basically, we would goof around in the hall, but finally one day we got Mary Alice Williams, who was the host of the Sunday Today Show, and we were like, I said we have to quit because she loved it. And I go, we got to quit. One day we're going to pull the blank. We're all going to get fired. But it was so fun back then because it was just like everybody knew each other in a better way, and nobody was suing anybody. It was like, hey, stupid,
No
quit
harassment.
belly bombing Betty. Oh, okay, we'll quit. Now it's like, get me the quickest lawyer you can find, and you're suing,
lawyer.
and nothing gets done. Nothing gets done. No
Bubba,
person.
I hate to tell you this.
Is the show over?
No.
Hey, listen to
Show
this.
hasn't
No, I
started yet.
I forget.
tell you
I'm
when it's
getting
over.
older. I'm getting older. You're getting younger. My memory goes, and I'm like, I remember things and then gone. And the only line I had for you today was, "Hey Andy." You're supposed to say what? Hey Andy. Say what?
What?
Who would ever think me and you would outlast Jack Diamond? You got to do it in the home court. Come on, that's a great line.
You got to be funny. Jack Diamond never worked in this studio. He never been on our town.
I only
either.
thought of it because
Yeah.
I'm coming back, and I had been on his show 20-some years ago.
This is Andy Ockershausen.
He's a millionaire. I'm not. I mean,
I'm
what's
listening
he
to Bubba
complaining
White.
about? Wait, are we taking a break? Is this
You know,
the
we already
hemorrhoid?
took it.
Are the hemorrhoid commercials coming? Hi, this is Andy Ockerhausen. You ever stood up or sat down and didn't like either one? If you like that, Andy, you can follow that. Come on, Andy, you can run with that.
I asked Bubba where the funny stuff is. He doesn't know. And you can say why he doesn't know.
This is yeah, because I can't remember. Here's what I thought. Are we on the air? Here's what.
That's the podcast you're always on.
Andy, when do we go outside and run around the block?
We've done it.
No, the
Bubba,
oh my God, you're killing me.
I want to switch gears here now and start talking about your career at the wonderful Channel 50 and your career in sports broadcasting. This is Andy Ockershausen. I'm trying to ask Bubba White something serious, which is difficult for him because he's not been serious. If you look at him, you know he's not serious. Bubba got involved in sports.
Can we take phone calls now? Can we get any emails or tweets?
Well,
You know,
probably-
right now Trump's trying to tweet into the Artel show, going, "It won't work. It won't work."
He can get on
Jesus,
when he gets
Christ.
back. So tell me about how did you get into sports? You've been directing news.
I did.
shows.
Let me in Baltimore. All I wanted to do was
MAR.
yes, 1979.
Wow.
And I was working with the baseball crew. I wanted to work on it, so they occasionally I'd go out there. So now I'm like, why can't I direct this? I'm watching the guys direct, and I go, this guy's going to retire soon or whatever. So I go out, and they let me do the away games. So I was doing a game for Cleveland, or I was doing a game for LA, or whoever. And
You mean the visiting team?
yes, they didn't let me do the home
The local team,
right?
okay.
But I still had 4 cameras, or I still had 5 cameras. So it was just like doing a second feed at the same time that the games right. So then they let me do some for WMAR. So I'm like taking all this in, right? Well, all of a sudden the head director sees it, and he's like, "Well, that looks like fun." I'm like, "What do you mean that looks what?" So he goes, "Well, I'm going to do it, and you're going to go back to the station, and I'm just watching." So I come.
He got
in-
rid of you.
So yeah, so because I'm 23 years old, and he's older than I am. So, so we go through this thing, and the technical director is like steaming because he knows the guy doesn't know baseball. I knew baseball. I wasn't a super baseball guy, but I
you knew it.
So he goes and does his first game, and he takes a shot of the runner crossing the plate on a third out, and he goes, "Hey, they scored." I just opened the door to the truck and walked out because I was going to go nuts. And the TD's like chewing on cigarettes. He's so pissed. But it was like, that's what happens.
Career?
So I ended up doing lacrosse.
At Channel 2?
Yeah, I did lacrosse and basketball, hockey.
You didn't miss anything.
But I just love doing anything. I love going on a remote.
Well, you like to work.
I like to work. I like to go on remotes. I like to do something different.
Well, how did you work? How did you end up
where I am now?
With Channel 50? Because
Channel
I know you
50,
didn't have a job.
The Channel 50 thing happened only because I looked at the roster of TV stations. I went, what's the worst one in the market, and who's the worst general manager?
I had no audience.
And I walk in and you go, "Hi, I'm Andy. I run this place." I set you up for that. I don't know. I think it was Terry, your assistant. Terry Anderson. She used to be an assistant or a salesperson. Blonde hair.
I don't know that
Linda
name.
McQueenie?
No, that's another one.
Linda, she was my
So
secretary.
she goes, I said, I want to do a TV show in D.C.
Wait a minute. There are no more secretaries. They're personal assistants. You understand that?
No, I don't. I work in a submarine. I don't know what you do.
Well, I don't do anything.
I don't see anybody.
My
I
wife
work
was
in a room
charge.
with monitors and a bunch of cutthroats that they'll kill you if you do something wrong.
Well, tell me about your...
So where do you want to start? So Channel 50, because I'm going to pitch the Bubba White Show on the internet, right?
Yeah.
Because you can go on the internet, the Bubba White Show. Let's see if that works. You can go to the Bubba White Show. You can go to, I have a YouTube page that has some clips from the old days. But basically there's one clip called Elvis and Wheaton. And this came about, this only came about because I was working for the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, who had a news division. We were supposed to go do something. We were supposed to do something in Wheaton, Maryland, which is right near where I grew up, and we always made fun of it. Like any other geographical area, you make fun of the. Johnny Carson used to make fun of what Encino or Burbank. It was always Burbank, and because it's where you live, you know how to make fun of where you are. So I'm with 3 people, and we drive to this magic shop called Barry's Magic Shop. And I'm starting talking to him, and he goes, "Well, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, some guy just gave me this Elvis song from the bar up in Bethesda, Tommy Joe's."
Yeah, sure.
Some guy met me.
Gone now.
Yeah, there was a guy that used to play guitar. Well, he gives me this song. It's called, Elvis is Alive and Living in Kalamazoo. So I hear the beat, and I go, "This is a great song. What can I come up with to go with this silly music?" So we end up in Wheaton. This guy goes, "I got an Elvis costume." I go, "Meet me on the corner in 30 minutes. And then we go. I go, wait, what can we do? What can we do? I go, "Oh, there's the IHOP." Everybody laughs at the IHOP. So me and my buddy Pedro goes into this Spanish sort of, accent to go, "He saw the king. I saw the king." We're just making this up. We run into the IHOP. These guys are looking at us like, "What are you all doing?" Cameras, camera comes in. We start talking stuff. I interview a waitress. I interview the cooks. We run back outside. I have some music. So we put this whole thing, and the whole thing's based on the camera where we are talking pans over, and there's the guy in the Elvis suit, and I go running across traffic. Cars are going in and out. I threw the microphone. It meant nothing to anyone, and that was one of my skits. Well, I put that on the internet. So if you go to the Bubba White Show, Elvis and Wheaton, it should pop up on my YouTube page. But I brought this to Channel 50, so I put together a bunch of skits. I said to you, I go, "Man, this show would be funny." He goes, "Hey, let me sell you 30 minutes of time." Somebody goes, "It's $1,000." He goes, "Bubba, 1,500. I'll take care of you." And then we made a deal where you traded me T-shirts. There was one time where you traded T-shirts.
Those were the good old days.
Dude, that's 30 years ago.
Are you an employee of CBS or a stringer?
An employee.
You get paid by CBS?
Weekly with overtime and meal penalties, yes. I will be doing in 3
months. Do you ever do any work for Channel 9? I don't know. I'm getting the signals here, Bubba.
Have I ever worked for Channel 9? When I did an internship in 1970. Sorry about 1977.
Ranger Hal?
No, but it was Dennis Holey and Carol Randolph. I can't believe I remember that. And they did a morning show called Morning Break. And I came in and I looked at the whole mix of every race, color, and creed first time. I'm 18, 19, whatever I was, 19, 20. And I see everybody's cool and all this. And I'm looking around and go, "Wow, what kind of show could I do?" And I go, "Oh, how about if I do a show on Kwanzaa?" So the white guy, the white guy puts together a 1-hour show on Kwanzaa, and they loved it. They were like, it was hysterical, and I only did it because I knew I sort of
You knew
saw
the
what,
people.
yeah, and I knew what they would do if the silly white intern said, "Let's do it," and everybody helped out. So that was my Channel 9, and that was when Channel 9 was WTOP, the way God should have left it.
Yeah.
Then it became W. Let me tell you about WDVM.
Well, hold
when
that
I hear
story.
when you hear WDVM, I hear everybody in this area going in the DMV. Every time I hear in the DMV, I want to punch them in the FACE. It's called the Greater Washington Area. It's called Virginia. It's called Maryland. It's called DC. It's called 20 miles from the capital.
needed that
The
because they were in-
DMV. This
they
place
were in-
is lazy.
by-
All right, you need to take a break. Go ahead. You going to sell some aluminum siding? Go ahead, Andy.
No, we're giving them.
Hi, this is Andy Ockerhausen's friend Mark White. Andy recently sided my house with some 3-gauge aluminum. And yes, it's the finest. The rain no longer comes in the house. It's going down my front steps. I got nothing, Andy.
This is Andy Ockershausen. This is Our Town. It almost was a good show.
Yeah, it was all. I didn't know where I was going.
You don't care, though.
I have
That's
no
the
idea
beauty.
why I'm here, how I got here.
Andy, just give me a. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. This is Andy Ockershausen, but
Hey, who did you mention before Tim Russert?
Oh, Garrick Utley. He used to, and Maria Shriver. So I worked with that. That's how old I am. I used
Eric Utley?
Garrick. He was the NBC anchorman. Somewhere.
UTLEY.
Yeah, he was like a foreign correspondent, anchorman for the morning shows. He was great guy.
Where did Maria work? She worked at 9?
And who?
Shriver?
Yeah.
Well, she came out of L.A. and then
Oh,
she
I knew
worked,
that.
And then she worked at NBC.
NBC. Hey, Mark, who did you mention with Carol Randolph?
Oh, Dennis Foley.
I spell it Holy.
I think it's WHOLLEY.
LLEY. I know Dennis.
Okay.
He did a PBS show. Are we back on?
No, not yet.
I'm sweating. That's
Oh,
all
but just
fun.
relax for a minute. I want to talk to you about the pinnacle of your career,
Oh God.
which hasn't been achieved yet.
Can I buy
You
this?
ever hear
Can I
from
buy
Al
this
Roker?
clock? Can I
What,
buy
Ray?
this clock?
Okay.
I like this one. This is a nice size.
What are you saying, my dear?
When you're ready,
You getting any air over there, Bubba?
Thank you. You can tilt it down a little, as I like to say.
tilt it down.
I don't feel bad. I'm just sweating. You know what? Wait.
You're
Let's
nervous.
wait. Wait. Let's wait.
You and Dexter Manley.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Remember Dexter?
Yeah.
Yep.
He was just.
You just sweated away.
It was
All right,
something with. All
Are
right,
you ready, Jenny?
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah.
Rolling.
This is Our Town. Andy Ockershausen having almost a conversation. Of course, I'm listening to the famous Mark White, otherwise known as Bubba,
There
who
you go.
doesn't have a
You
job.
got it. You got it. You got it.
Mark White works, but Bubba doesn't. But you ran into a career, as it seems to me, by producing and directing the best television show about the Redskins has ever been, called Saturday Night Live.
Hey, Andy. We
No, I
can't.
beg
No,
your
I don't.
pardon.
I don't mean. Yeah, I know what you meant to say. Redskins Saturday Night.
No, it's after hours.
Well, that were two different shows.
I know that.
Oh, okay. Well, you just said the wrong one.
Well, what do I care?
Why are we fighting? We're not married. Hey, by the way, if there are any single
know-
women out there that are loaded,
Mike-
granted, I could use some weight, but I don't know anybody anymore.
Mike
All right,
O'Hara.
let's go.
Gave us the restaurant, Champions in
Right.
Georgetown. The show in Georgetown was on Channel 20. It died.
That's correct. It died. Oh, you're doing a Trump. It was terrible. It was the worst.
So we moved the show
That's right.
with
To
the
Fairfax.
Falls Church,
I'm sorry.
in Falls Church, with better cast and better people.
Yes.
And it was an overnight flop. So it was a big success
It was okay.
because the people made the show
Yeah.
and the audience was great. Bubba, you made it all happen. But nobody was better than Pete Wysocki as an MC.
Mhm.
He was irreverent.
Right.
George went
But
along.
wait. Pete
everything he did.
Wysocki, when you said I was sweating during this interview right now, Pete Wysocki saw me sweating like this, and this is 20 some years ago, and he looks at me and he's laughing. He's got a drink or something in his hand. He goes, hey, Bubba. I go, what's that, Pete? He goes, do you know why fat people sweat?